Welcome to For the Classical Guitarist. If you like what you see here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to us on YouTube, as well as checking us out on Facebook and Instagram. The links will be posted in the description below. Hello, this is John from For the Classical Guitarist. Today we are here with Scott Tennent, and we're going to be doing an Instagram Q&A with questions that you guys asked. Where is the best place you traveled in the past year?
Well, New York's always nice. We were there. But for me, it's always a stopover in London. So if I get to stop in London on the way home for a day or two, that's what I like to do.
And what country, in your experience, has the best cup of coffee?
My Italian friends are going to expect me to say Italy, and they're probably right. You can get great coffee almost anywhere now. I was in Spain last summer. I didn't have a bad coffee there. You stop at any place and have a café con leche or a cortado, and
How do you know if you found the correct fingerings for a piece?
Depends on the piece. One example of that is Bach. I constantly finger and refinger all the Bach pieces that I've worked on. And it's never the way I completely want it. So I'll play it one way for a little while and then I'll change it. Taking out slurs, putting in slurs, putting slurs in other places, that kind of thing. For me, it's actually like doing a crossword puzzle. You just have to find the fingers that fit in the right place at the right time. And they're not always going to be the easiest ones, but it should feel comfortable.
If you and the members of the LAGQ got in a brawl, who would win and why?
Please. Please! Who would win and why?
Yeah.
I could get in trouble answering this. I don't know. We would never get in a brawl.
Of course, but
if we did?
Yeah.
Okay. All four of us are like 2 and 2, 3 and 1. How's it going down?
You're individually fighting.
Each other.
Fighting each other.
Okay, well, I would win. I'll tell you why. Because I would pit the other 3 against each other and I would sneak away. Path of least resistance.
Who do you main in Smash? So Smash is Super Smash Bros.
Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
I'd have to go with Mario.
In 5 words or less, describe your favorite movie.
In 5 words or less. Ooh, that's 5 words. 5 words or less. My favorite character is Gandalf.
Thank you.
What helps keep you motivated to keep playing the guitar as well as learn new repertoire?
We all start the guitar because we love it. I hope that's why we all start. We love the sound of it, or like the way we can just carry it around and play it sort of spontaneously. But you have to kind of keep that initial reason, that spark that gave you that passion to play. If you have to do it for a living, you're just not going to love it every day just because, I don't know, you might be sick, but you have to go on stage. I've had the terrible flu countless times in 40 plus years and had to go and perform, and you have to smile. And you're not liking it a lot, but you have to reach deep. And so the thing you grab onto is, what is it that made me first really love it? So that's what I have to hold on to all the time. And it's the same to learning new repertoire too. I don't get tired of old repertoire as fast as some people do. To me, there's something about working something over and over again to a point. I mean, you don't want to beat it to death, but if you find new ways of doing something in an older piece of repertoire, I don't see any reason to abandon it. My weekend, when I was a student and had no money, my weekend was basically to just sit in my kitchen and read through, at the kitchen table, read through stacks of music. I hardly read a book. I would read through music. I still do it for fun. And so I find something I might want to learn, and I'll put it aside. But basically, it took the competitions to tell me what I needed to learn. That helped me a lot, because I would, again, be really indecisive about it.
How would you recommend to transfer classical guitar knowledge to electric guitar or other styles and genres of playing guitar?
I've taught a lot of crossover people who are really, really good at like electric guitar one way or another. Just the one thing I always have to get over with them is, especially the rockers, the people who primarily play rock, their thing on classical for some reason is like, you gotta be perfect. And it's so not that, right? I mean, it's not, the more you play, the more you realize it's just really not about that. But I've had many students who just are obsessed with not making a mistake. and actually get really mad at themselves for making a mistake. And I really have to work a lot psychologically with them to let them make music.
Is it true that you own a very expensive espresso machine?
I have. The one I have now is not. The thing is, my technique is better now, so I don't need a bunch of expensive metal to do it for me. I have a very accessible on Amazon machine that does everything I want it to do, but I have a really good grinder. So a good grinder will run you, 4 digits. I mean, it's all about the grind. So yeah, I am pretty particular about that. And on the road, I have to say, when I travel, I carry an AeroPress, and for me, that makes the best cup of coffee. So,
if Segovia were alive, do you think he would approve of the lattice and double top guitars?
No.
Okay.
Just don't.
What's the best guitar that you've ever played?
Hands down, it was my 1990 Friedrich. I was really lucky to get it. A friend of mine, Olivier Chassin in France, introduced me to Friedrich, or helped me order it. I was in a car accident a couple years after that, and for various unfortunate reasons, I had to sell that guitar, and that still pains me to this day. But that was the best guitar for me ever.
How would you recommend to make classical guitar more appealing to the younger generation?
I've not found that difficult, actually. Generally, these days, they've heard something on classical guitar. I find that a lot of them think, "Oh, that's beyond me. That's too hard," right? But then when they see somebody up close play it, I think they're automatically inspired. Sometimes it's the music that does it. They're thinking, "Wow, that could be played on guitar. Wow!" And other times it's just the style and kind of the possibilities that you get with playing with your fingers, and they're just kind of blown away by everything you can do on with classical technique.
What's the best piece of advice that someone gave to you?
Well, a couple contrasting pieces of advice. Always, I think about them all the time. One was from Pepe Romero, and his piece of advice was, you know what? No matter how you do, even if while you're playing, if you break both arms and crash and burn on the floor, the world doesn't care. The sun's gonna come up the next morning. And the second piece of advice was a bit contrary to that, from another teacher of mine, Juan Serrano. He told me two things. He said basically he had a very rough voice and a Spanish accent, like this. But he told me basically get a day job. Not that you shouldn't dream of playing concerts, but basically he was a realist, and he came to this country with nothing, and he built a career in teaching and playing. And his thing was like, basically don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have something to fall back on, like in teaching. Right? And his second piece of advice was, people won't take you seriously playing Spanish music if you have a beard. So when I was starting to grow a beard then, he didn't like that.
I want to take a second to thank Scott Tennent for generously donating his time, which is what made this video possible. If you haven't heard recordings of him play before, definitely check him out on YouTube, Spotify, and any other online streaming service. I also would like to thank Sarah Bradlisi, who helped film this video, as well as Christopher Ladd, who is the director and the chair of the Guitar and Harp program at the Hart School of Music. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to be updated about future videos. Thank you.